Don in London, hello. It's March 11th, 2010. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. I always say that, just in case somebody new tunes in. And my addictive substance was alcohol. My behaviour, equally addictive to work, relationships, materialism, you name it, people, places, things. Determined to be perfect in the way I thought you thought I ought to be, or trying to be perfect, and never ever perfect. Just simply I didn't know the meaning of progress. And that's very strange really, because a lot of my life was about training and developing people into being able to do whatever they wanted to do in their life, their job, and whatever it happened. I think they call it life skills these days. But in the olden days, it was more of a journeyman, just helping people where they were, what they wanted to do, and how to improve life. And, you know, it's a bit like physician heal thyself. I couldn't. What did I do? Well, on my journey of perfection, and never perfect, never satisfied, I was always trying to fix myself, fix my feelings, understand what spiritual might be, understand what it's like to be fit and able. So a gymaholic as much as anything, a relationship holic, workaholic, and drinkaholic. And I didn't know what drink was doing to me. Is it that we're in denial or ignorance? I don't know. I don't know where ignorance stops and denial starts. I knew that alcohol had become a problem for me. And I remember stopping for a year or so, just because I thought it was a good idea. But life was difficult, and life remained difficult. So what does somebody do if they want to fix the feelings, or fix and try and be okay? We look for something which we've done before, and we can find ourselves back in the old insanity of doing the same old thing over and over again, and expecting it to come out differently. And of course, with drink dependency, where does it head? Into addiction, of course, and that's what happened to me. So a long career of trying to make it look right, trying to fix myself. And these days I realise there's no point to trying to fix something. It's more important to live what is and make choices based on good information. So where do I get my information about being sober? Well, I had a moment of clarity, thankfully, because family, friends, community and professionals kept me alive long enough to find one. And that was, I could not beat addiction on my own. No matter how much I tried, self-will became self-obsession, and self-obsession led to addiction, or addictive behaviour, both attitude and behaviour. So these days, trying not to be addicted, trying not to fix myself, because I can go back there into old behaviour, which is based on fear, putting on a brave face, and covering up with my ego, which is so thin. It's like an eggshell, and if you break the ego of a person who's addicted, you find anger, frustration, rage, depression, all covered up by taking a drink, or taking a drug, or behaving to extremes. Difficult. Once we're in that behaviour, it's with us forever as a daunting prospect, if we don't know how to keep sober, emotionally, physically and spiritually on a daily basis. So I needed help. And where did I get it? Well, I was very reluctant. I heard about a fellowship called AA, didn't like the idea. It sounded like a kooky dogma, something weird which I didn't want to be a part of. And when I went there, first of all, I said, yes, I am an alcoholic, and ran away to the pub, the bar, more drinking. So these days, after a while of going back and listening to people, just simply listening to experience strength and hope, life has changed, and I learned that I did not need to drink today, and I don't need to drink today either. It's a one-day program, one day in a lifetime, and we don't know how long we have. So if we concentrate on what is in front of us, in the here and now, we have a better understanding of what can happen and the choices we can make based on the information in front of us. Life. So I talk about AA fellowship. I share the AA statement of intent, or preamble, which is shared at every meeting of AA I go to, and I'm looking forward to getting back to them when my foot heals a bit more. And a little bit of the literature of AA to back up what I'm sharing. So I start with the AA preamble and then share a bit from the literature. And the AA preamble reads like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So important in there is sharing a message of experience, strength and hope, just sharing a message of what's working and also what's not working, because life is a bumpy road with potholes and puddles. So, it's not a bed of roses. And, what sobriety has given me is the opportunity to work out what to do in the hardest of times, as much as the best of times. And somewhere in there is balance, the balance of living in the now. And with society as it is today, living in the moment of now is extraordinarily difficult, because we're looking at our history and how it was, and we're wanting a future which maybe is impossible. So if we cover our needs today, just what we need to do today to make life work, or not make it, but live life so it does work, then we have a better chance. So I share from the Daily Reflections this book, and it covers the 12 steps of action in the action program of AA. And that 12-step program is about changing our attitude and behaviour, and the 12 steps help us. It's a toolkit. So each step has relevance, and one is covered each month in this book. So March is all about turning our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. And that word God always bothered me in my drinking days, because my father didn't believe in God, and I of course believed him to be right. So I came to an understanding of what God might be in my life, which is simply truth, the truth of now. God is truth. God is love, the most important emotion that keeps us going when everything else is not going too well. And God works through people, which is the wisdom shared. And I get wisdom about sobriety, emotional and spiritual, from fellowship and from life as it is now. So here we go, the reading for today. Good orderly direction. It's when we try to make our will conform with God's that we begin to use it rightly. In other words, be informed by what's going on around us. To all of us, this was the most wonderful revelation. Our whole trouble had been the misuse of willpower. We had tried to bombard our problems with it instead of attempting to bring it into agreement with God's intention for us. In other words, living in the day as it is. To make this increasingly possible is the purpose of AA's 12 steps, and step 3 opens the door, which is opening ourselves up to the possibility that other people can help us. All I have to do is look back at my past to see where my self-will has led me. I just don't know what's best for me, and I believe my higher power does. Good orderly direction, or God, which I define as good orderly direction, has never let me down. But I have let myself down quite often. Using my self-will in a situation usually has the same result as forcing the wrong piece into a jigsaw puzzle: exhaustion and frustration. Step 3 opens the door to the rest of the program. When I ask God for guidance, prayer and meditation that is, I know that whatever happens is the best possible situation. Things are exactly as they are supposed to be, even if they aren't what I want or expect. God does for me what I cannot do for myself if I let Him. And it is all about getting our expectations right-sized and understanding that we are part of the world and we don't control it. We have our choices based on what is in front of us. So that serenity prayer to acceptance always helps me, and it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is simply and always just for today.